Welcome, everybody, back to another exciting show of the About That Water podcast. Well, as we are getting set up and as everybody start to chime in, I want to go ahead on and get this show started. So let's go. Hey, everybody. So, first off, I want to say thank you all for joining me today because today I actually have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to actually losing your weight, but also this helps out when it comes to your finances as well. Because we all know that our health is our wealth. And one of the things is that we always talk about how to eat healthy and how to lose weight. You always hear about people talking about all these cool things, but they also talk about how to spend money and how you should spend your money doing this and doing that. But a lot of people aren't really chiming in to help you out with that process. Or some people will call it hand holding because you can actually go out there and do it yourself. But a lot of us know that sometimes we just need that little push, that little guidance, and somebody to be there for us during that process. Now, one of the things I want to talk about to you today is about how to actually create something that you yourself can stick to. Because one of the things about when it comes to finances and also when it comes to your diet and health is that one of the things is how do we maintain that and stay consistent inside our goals to either A, lose the weight or even B, just kind of stay on a budget. And we talked about the five different ways to actually do budgeting and actually what version will stick for you. So today I'm actually want to dive into far as losing weight and also the cost of it because I mean there are so many things, there's so much information out there. And I really want to help you guide to that next level because as we go throughout our lives, we actually come to realize is that life isn't fair. And sometimes the body that we had born into or we grew up, is coming from a lifestyle that we come from. So it could be from our health issues, our financial issues. It could be, you know, some of the things that we look at our basic day to day habits. How do we talk to each other? How do we talk to ourselves? How do we talk about the things that matter to us? Because when you see, perfect example, I've seen somebody who I guess I was their little brother, little sister when I was getting on the metro in DC, and they was actually yelling at the child, saying, "Why don't you put your coat on this way?" And this was obviously this was during the wintertime. It was like, why you keep putting your coat on that way? You need to put your coat on like this. This is the way how you're supposed to put your lotion on, and get on the train, hurry up. And just sound like it was a lot of yelling and a lot of tension early in the morning. And one of those things is that when you have somebody that try to motivate you and they're just yelling at you and telling, no, you need to do this, and no, you need to do that. I don't know anybody that really gets motivated that way. I'm not that way. I know for sure. I I usually tune out people who try to tell me that I need to do this and I need to do that, and you should be proud and all this fun stuff. No, we just got to get things going, and I just want to say that this is a topic that I think a lot of people will get a lot of information out of. Let's take a moment. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Remembered your name this time. Good seeing you back on the show. All right, so before I dive into the topic today, um, what is it that is the hardest thing that you've seen about far as losing weight? Because one of the things that I noticed that all of us have our body goals that we all want to do. And one of the things is about learning about those body goals is that we have to put a plan of action in place on something that we can actually achieve. Hey, Carla. So, with that being said, let's give you a small story. So, I went to the doctors and I'm up here thinking, like, well, I look okay. I look healthy. And, they was like, all right, well, you look pretty healthy. How often do you work out? And I was like, well, I work out about once or twice a week. And they looked at me, was like, okay. And so they went on to continue to check me, went down my back just to kind of make sure that I'm breathing okay. Put the stethoscope. There we go. Such a hard word to say. Who created that word anyway? It's ridiculous. Um, and they put it on my chest and had me breathe in, making sure I go in and exhale. And, so they go on and check their little notes and everything. And they was like, well, we hear a little something in your chest. We just want to get some blood work done. And I was like, okay. I was like, I want the max because I'm already paying you guys and I'm not here often. But, for the annual checkup, everybody got to do the annual checkup. So the next day, I went back to go get my blood work done because during the time I just didn't have time and it was really busy. So I'm thinking to myself, I was like, as I'm driving back to the hospital to say, what could be wrong with me? I think I feel okay. I feel great. I drink plenty of water and I think I feel good. And so I went in, just lolly da, and got my blood work taken care of. Did the little piss test. I mean, not the piss test, but pee in a cup. Hand everything over. And my doctor says, well, we need you to come back in. Now, mind you, this was about like 2 days after. He was like, yeah, I need you to come back in because there is something that's shown up in your blood work that we need to address. And I'm up here pacing back and forth. I'm at work and just thinking like, all right, well, what could be wrong with me? I was like, I was healthy just last checkup, which was last year. What could have happened from year to year? So I'll go inside and he was like, well, Anthony, the good news is that you're not dying, but you have to focus on what are you eating because your cholesterol is a lot higher. I wonder if I can actually pull this up, my actual cholesterol count for you all, because they was like, well, you need to focus on what you're eating. You need to exercise at least 3 times a week, and you need to drink more water. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, now I got to work out a little bit more than what I normally do, which is to me, I'm up here thinking I'm doing okay. But no, the doctor's giving me certain things to do. And I'm like, all right. So what I do now is actually take out at least 20 minutes a day to do my workout. And then, light workout. Trying to stay consistent, trying to find something like another routine that helps me bring more focus into my life and try to maintain this thing because I didn't want to I didn't want to die from high cholesterol. You hear a lot of strokes, a lot of heart attacks and so forth. And one of the things that I did was I asked them, I was like, hey, since I'm paying you, I want to get tested again. Because I know I've been working out, trying this out for a whole month straight. I just want to make sure if it wasn't that one time that they tested me to make sure that it wasn't just that. So, going through and he was like, okay, come on in. And, I'm up here pacing, like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm doing right. I'm drinking more water. I'm exercising at least 2 to 3 times um, a week now. And I've started getting my rotation where I'm doing my little 20 minutes, you know, working out on my bike, or if I'm using like some loose weights or something. And he goes back, like, get the other blood test. I was like, cool. All right, I'm feeling good. And then next thing you know, he was like, you sure you're working out? Because it doesn't look right. And I was like, dude, I'm doing everything that you told me to do. I'm eating the way you said I was supposed to do. What else can I do at this point? He was like, well, whatever you're doing, you need to keep it up. Because if not, he pulled up a some medicine that he had for another client that was supposed to come in. He didn't show me the name for HIPAA reasons. And what he told me was that if I do not fix my habits, if I do not eat like I'm supposed to, he'll have to put me on some medicine. And I don't want that. Especially when I'm hearing certain people that are on medicine and so forth. And I was like, out of all the research that I've done, I'm up here thinking in my mind, why I am not able to kick this. What is it that I'm doing that is not um that is not clicking or showing up in the test right? Maybe the tests are wrong. Maybe it's just something I'm just not understanding, because I'm up here thinking like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but it's not showing up right. And unfortunately, I'm looking at my test results here. They don't show like what the events are as far as like my blood work and everything like that. So they don't have it split out to cholesterol. I thought they did, but the app's been updated. So, but yeah, um, it's just a mess. I feel bad that this is what it come down to in an information age, on how we can actually improve our lives. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about in today's show is how do we move from a place of irregularities and understanding what they are to actually now taking us to that next level so we can increase our lives and also increase the way how we operate. So one of the things is that I want y'all to think about this, because I know I've been talking for a bit, but one of the things I want you to think about is that there are always instructions on how to get a six pack, but they are not instructions on how to be lazy. And the cost of being lazy, the cost of not being healthy, but there's also a cost incurring when it comes to losing weight. And this is what I want to dive into today, because losing weight or getting healthy, all of it has a cost. And everybody keeps saying that money is the root of all evil and money does this and do that. But money is also in your everyday lives as you are losing weight, gaining more money because it takes money to protect money, it takes money to make money, it takes money to do everything in society. And that's one of the things that I want to bring to you. It's like money is everywhere. And that's one of the things I love about learning about finances is because we have these moments of how we lose weight, but also how we can gain it as well. All right. So who we have all here in the chat before we jump into some little bit of show and tell. What up, Carla? Hey, Tamara. Brother Brown. What up, man? Yeah, it's the love of money. I don't know the name. I don't know the words to that song, but that's the only part I know. All right. So let's dive on to this. One of the things that I researched when I used the National Institute of Health, looking at their website or their sub company, I guess you could say, is a National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. So I'm gonna share my screen right quick so y'all can see. Yep. Okay. Zoom in because I really want you guys to see this because this is something that that I was talking about. I don't know it. I'll just use some mouse. There we go. So they have here the National Institute of Lung and Health and Blood Institute. Now, one of the things is that they talk about everyday eating tips. Oh, yeah, we got D3 in here as well. What up? So now we talked about also eating habits and all these things. And as you see here on this website, that they are talking about like making things right for you. And these are way how you plan everything and just going straight through into things you how to prepare yourself. And they talk about your eating habits. Now, this is interesting. And as I said before, that there are so many ways on how to do things the right way, but there's so little on how to do things just regularly. Now, let's see. Tamara, you said that the weight loss program told me it would be about $700 to start losing weight. I said I can learn how to, you can learn how to do it yourself. That is so true because right here on this website, they already give you some of the habits that you need to start looking into. Keep a regular eating schedule. I mean, the one of the things I always thought was funny is like if you get locked up, you actually get a eating schedule, which is all 3 meals. You get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, I'm out here as a quote unquote free man, and I don't even eat 3 times out the day. Maybe just one meal, maybe two. So they talk about eat together as a family on most days of the week. Eat before you get too hungry. Make sure that every family member eats breakfast every day. Drink water before a meal. Now, one of the things that I thought was actually cool, it would be nice if they dive a little bit into this on why. Because they're telling you to do these things, but not telling you why. One of the things about drinking water before a meal is that it helps you, one, digest your food a little faster, and also so you don't get dehydrated. And thirdly, is that you don't eat as much. You can actually eat a lot less. And unfortunately, I will not be drinking water at 8:30. They say try green salad instead of fries. I mean, not all salads are created equal. Y'all know that iceberg lettuce is not it's not the best. It's just water. Just get some leafy greens, dark green salads. Um, choose slowly. The reason why you want to choose slowly, again, these don't why they don't tell you why, is that it helps your body to realize that it's actually digesting some of the food and actually it's taking time to realize what's happening. Um, and serve water, low fat milk at meals instead of soda and other sugary drinks. Again, I already did a video on how to make your own oat milk. So you don't even have to have low fat milk at all or other animal byproducts just to have your own milk. So water is actually pretty good. And plus, like D3 said, who said it's in the process of cutting out dairy, sugar, and snacks altogether, which is amazing that you're doing that. And also, you talk about like pay attention to flavors and textures. Now, this is interesting because when they say pay attention, they're not giving too much context here. I'm not sure who made this up. And they said instead of eating out, bring a healthy, low calorie lunch to work and pack a healthy brown bag for your kids. Provide fruits and vegetables for snacks, and ask your sweetie to bring you fruit or flowers instead of chocolate. I mean, are you gonna sit around and eat flowers? Like, who's sitting around eating flowers? It's crazy. But also, they have a nice tracking sheet on here too. So I would say if you guys are just looking at it, if you just want to have like a little track sheet, they do provide something on here for you to have, which is nice. But again, they're not telling you the why behind it. And the reason why you want to do things a certain way. I do like this grocery list that they have, which is pretty good because it actually talks about how to start tracking things. And as you all remember from just last week, we were talking about taking things back to the basics, which is writing things down. And writing things down is one of the things that helps out so many people. And you just really need to take a moment to sit down and think about it. And the return on investment or the ROI for you to sit down for 30 minutes to really focus on your eating habits or even focusing on yourself. I want to, matter of fact, if you have a piece of paper right now or on your phone or something, I want you to schedule at least an hour, like once a week, to sit down and focus on yourself. I want you to take a moment and focus on self because the return on investment on just focusing on yourself will change your life forever. And the reason why I say forever is because you will remember when you took that moment to sit down for those 20 minutes or 30 minutes each week and be like, I remember I did this, we did this, and now it becomes a pattern. And then after that pattern is set up in your life, you looking at it further down the road and be like, I remember I used to do this. You ever hear football players and soccer players or people that were in sports and they always be like, yeah, I remember that we used to do this and I know how to kick the ball this way or I know how to lift 200 pounds. This is what I used to do. And then they was like, all right, cool. I can get myself in shape. I know how to do this, but they don't because their life has changed so much that they just don't know how to get back to that level. And one of the things is that um, having that moment to sit down and really understand what is happening in your lifestyle is such an important feat that you need to understand as a human being, all of us do. And also understand yourself. Is that a diet? You know, when you hear that word diet, you need to, what do you think about it? So I went on and looked up what the Webster Dictionary is, what a diet is. And they show that it's the kinds of foods that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. So let me read that again. The kinds of foods that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. So when you think about that, think about it like your social media feeds. It's feeding your mind. The things that entertain you are the things that you will more than likely become. You are more than likely to repeat. So let's think about that a little bit closer, which is when we talk about how expensive it is for weight loss. I mean, Tamara talked about how they were charging her almost $700 just to get started. I mean, is that not a motivator enough for you to go ahead on and start changing your lifestyle? I mean, that would change my lifestyle when you start putting prices behind things. You now are fully committed, you're all in, but sometimes you're not. And that's what I want to talk about here on US Newsweek, which I thought was interesting, where they started talking about how, let me see. So they were talking about how the price of like Weight Watchers and all these different fitness programs per month. Now, one of my clients that I was helping out, remember I was talking about one of my clients in their budget, and they were paying $69 for a gym membership that they weren't even using. Now, $69 times 12, let me bring up my little calculator here. You're looking at $828 just on the gym membership for 30 days. And how often do you normally go? Maybe once or twice a week or a month. But when you think about it, how much does it cost to buy some loose weights? You know, because I was just at the thrift store and loose weights, loose weights, Target. Also, you guys, if you ever looking for Amazon deals, by the way, I am an Amazon affiliate, so all the links down in the show notes are available to you. Um, and when it says shop Amazon, you can actually just shop Amazon and start getting to the deals. But anyway, when people say that they can't afford to lose weight, $828 is $69 a month for a whole year. A set of adjustable weights with the kettlebell setup is $169. I mean, some of these you get in full sets for even $230. Now, this is without the program, but if you have YouTube and loose weights, YouTube University is free. You can sit up here and actually knock all this stuff out for under $828. Now, one of the things that you can do as a cheater, and this is what I do, is when it comes to working out and looking for things to do, I actually go to programs and say, all right, what is the program for certain weight loss procedures? What does it cost to have those procedures? And then I look at it, all right, well, what does it take and what is the process to lose the weight in order for you to get the surgery done? And usually the diet that they have there is pretty easy to the point where people are losing 100 pounds just to get the surgery to lose another 200 pounds. Now, sometimes I understand that everybody's situation is a little different, but if you take those same steps in your own life and apply them and make that part of your daily routine, that would actually save you, and just as a small membership fee, $828 a month, I mean a year. And then on top of that, if you look at some of these programs, which are like, they say here, Americans spend north of $60 billion annually to try to lose pounds on everything that they pay for gym memberships, joining weight loss programs, to eat diet soda. To drinking diet soda. So if you're planning to apply any new strategies to weight loss, consider these tips before emptying your pockets. So one of the things they were saying here, if you can't afford to go to the gym, just do some sit-ups, push-ups, and just do that on a regular basis. It's very easy to do. And you can actually look up on YouTube. Now, another thing when it comes to these other weight loss programs, I mean, how many of you saw where they had Billy Blanks doing the infomercials and you sitting up there trying to copy what they doing on the infomercial, working out? Those are free. You're already paying for the service anyway to get the TV showing up. So when it comes to losing weight, think of it the same way how you do your money. You want to get rid of your credit cards, you want to stop spending things. You want to start spending the money on the things that matter to you, or you start saving the money so that you can start doing things with your family. The same thing applies here. When you lose weight, it allows you to open yourself up to more avenues. You get to spend more time with your kids. You get to spend more time with your family because now that you're actually losing the weight, you feel free, you feel more energetic. You're able to go out there and do the cool things that you want to do. Now, I think I went through quite a bit here. Oh, and eating the way you want to eat. This is very important because when it comes to changing the way you eat, I'm gonna just highlight this part here because I thought this was pretty good. Anyone who isn't a healthy eater knows that it's easy to find cheap snacks and inexpensive fast food like McDonald's or McDonald's dollar menu or a 99-cent bag of Cheetos at the grocery store. However, if your paycheck is sickly, go to the produce section at the grocery store where the prices can be deflating. Now, the funny thing about this is that if you think about it from a marketing standpoint, I'm gonna take you for a small story here. I went inside the grocery store looking for cronuts. They're so delicious, by the way. If you haven't had a cronut, but I went to the grocery store, and in order to get to the cronuts, which is in the bakery section, you have to pass all the healthy foods first. Then they have the bakery section, and that's how they set you up, and then the frozen section and so forth. So you have to pretty much feel guilty walking past all the healthy food before you get to the unhealthy food. Now, if you think about it, keep continuing on around, all the frozen goods that you need inside a grocery store are always past all the things that you don't need. And usually they keep the fruits and vegetables up front. So if you actually go in, most people want to spend a little bit more time inside the store. So what they do is they put all the good stuff in the front. So you go in, you grab your stuff, the stuff you really need for the house, like your your peas, your I don't know, dragon fruit, oranges, whatever. You go in, you have that sitting on the side, and you're like, all right, cool. I got what I need. All right, now I gotta go to the register. Instead of you backtracking towards the front of the store, you feel bad because they think you're going to steal or whatever. So you go around. And as you go around, you see the snacks. You walk down the snack aisle. You're like, man, could have had some chips. I do like those chips over there. That lady is looking at me, the Utz girl. It's like, I do want a little something salty, so I'll go down and grab these bag of chips with everything on the fresh groceries that I already have. And then it was like, all right, now I'm in the checkout line and I'm looking at the gum. Then they have, some Reese's. Hey, buy one, get one free, or buy two, get two free. And you snatch those up. Now, all those calories that you just picked up, those little extra empty calories, do they compensate for what you have far as your fresh foods? And one of those things is that I want you to take away from all of this is that you do have a way to increase your due diligence, your budget, and also your eating habits. So these are the takeaways that I want to have everybody take away from this. Is that one, you need to know what a diet is, which is the kinds of foods a person, an animal, or a community habitually eats. Think about the things that you're actually eating all the time. Think about those weight loss programs. How much do they cost? Is it worth paying them? Or is it worth go ahead on and try to do the things that they already have that's out there available for free that you can do? I want you to modify your environment, which means that take time out to look at the cost of maintaining those goods that you have in the house. Are there things that you can actually eat at home Are there things in your house that you can either quickly make that you actually enjoy? Because I know Brother Brown, he actually does a lot of meal planning. That is an awesome way to do that. But he changed his environment to allow that to happen, which means like he set up his schedule, plans his meals, cook early so that he can plan out his whole meals for the whole week. Now, you might have something like that too. So, is your family involved in this process? And losing weight is a little bit more than just a diet. Remember, this is a lifestyle change. Same thing when you were talking about budgets. It is a lifestyle change, which means that something that you have to habitually do day in and day out. All right. So I think that's it for the podcast side of the house. Are y'all ready for drinks? Because I'm ready for drinks. I think it's time to drink. Whatever, y'all here. All right. Alrighty, I think I got my song queued up. Nope. Let me see. There we go. All right, everybody, just let me know what y'all drinking out there. As I make my concoction. We have the Pirate Bay. I guess I should have opened these up first. But what are y'all drinking out there tonight? I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so it's all right. It's quite a bit of Pirate Bay. Y'all hear that pop? It's gonna be delicious. All right. So again, I did the vodka with the Chardonnay, being with the Moscato. Thank you to Shane if you're watching. Thank you for this combo. That's been great. Oh, look at that. It's not even clear anymore. That's how you know it's going down. And I'm asleep really well tonight. Oh, shucks. We got water out here. All right. I'm so proud of you not drinking wine. You know what? I'm not drinking wine straight, but it's a start. Now let's go ahead on and clean this up with some Simply Lemonade. Alrighty. So, oh man, I gotta go again. Oh, not yet. Hey, so now that we got everybody throats and everything like that all moisturized, let's go ahead on and get into these pod decks as y'all take y'all shot. Let's see what I got. Let's go. Pod decks. Where you at? There we go.
This episode is powered by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Pod Decks. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code? Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
All right, let's take our podcast to the next level. For those of you who are listening to the show, The Poddex code is wallet, WALLET. So make sure you go out there and get your set of decks of cards, or even just download the app. It's really cool. So the question of today, Poddex, is what are you currently learning? Because we've been talking about quite a bit of stuff here, and the cool thing about like learning all this stuff is that it's too much to learn. So I want to hear from you all. What are you guys learning? Because I'm actually sharing every time I learn something new. I just want to share it with you guys, and I thought this was actually pretty cool. Moisturized throats. Yes. Oh, and for some of you all who have not, who haven't got a chance to see Tony Baker live, hilarious dude. Talk about moisturize and making sure you the airlines are actually pretty much culturally setting us up, because for some reason we can't take a huge bottle of lotion, and it's sad that we can't take big bottles of lotion while we got the travel size that only can cover your 2 knees, and that's it for your whole trip. And then you got to go to the store and buy some more lotion, wasting your money. So if you have a little tan on your body just to say moisturize, it takes so much to do. Okay. So you got learning different platforms for video and teleconferencing. D3, talk a little bit more about that, will you? What platforms are you looking into? Andrew, you said C#, Spanish, Metasploit, and what CompTIA wants. That is awesome. Yes. For those of you who don't know what C# is, just a computer language. Right. Right now, I think Microsoft is heavily using C#. Metasploit is a hacking tool. It's pretty much to talk about all the exploits that are on your machines. And far as when it comes to Security Plus, it's just one of those applications that kind of give you the baseline for security. For those of you who didn't know what he was talking about. Cool. What else are you guys learning out there? You know what? I'm going to open up the phone lines. Now that I understand how this mic thing is set up, so we can actually get this going. Let's see. What's my phone number? Did I delete my phone number? I sure did. I should know by heart, though. Let's see. Get my phone number. All right. So while I'm looking for my phone number, see, we got Zoom, StreamYard, WebEx, Google Meets, and Microsoft Teams. That is interesting. D3, have you thought about looking into OBS as well? Because OBS is another set of software that's used for streaming. I thought about using OBS for doing my streams, but I'm not sure how to use it as far as allowing guests. And that's the reason why I'm using StreamYard right now, for those of you who are wondering. I think I do have my referral code inside the show notes. If it's not, I can actually share it with you all right now. All right, so we got Python and AWS. For those of you who don't know what AWS is, it stands for Amazon Web Services in Python. Python is actually a pretty cool software. So for those of you who are looking into getting the Python, it's really simple. And if you have about, I'll say maybe $100, you can actually buy a small computer, which is called a Raspberry Pi. And it actually comes with software on there to teach you Python. Let me see. Raspberry Pi. Let's see. Amazon. They might actually have it on Amazon right now. And I can share you guys with the link. Add the banner. All right. So if you guys want to give me a call, you can. Phone's available. Let me share my screen right quick. Let's see. Share screen. Okay, so the Raspberry Pi, this is the brand new one because it comes with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in. I believe the old ones came with the Wi-Fi. Well, no, you need an adapter for the older ones. But for this is ridiculous. For this size, it's for $120. You can get the size of a credit card and get a full computer. For those of you who are wondering, and I can actually share with you all in the notes. So for you guys who are watching right now, this is actually behind the scenes on how I get referral links, because I am a affiliate or an associate for Amazon. So if you guys ever need anything, just kind of let me know. So you can get your Raspberry Pi, nice little computer, and it's actually a pretty awesome tool. If you guys actually want to get your own. And Jamal, you actually learned about motion lotion. Can you expand a little bit more on that motion lotion, sir? I don't think they have motion lotion available on here. But yeah, it's really cool that you guys are learning different skills and skill sets that are out there, because one of the cool things about what is happening in this world right now is that so many people are saying that we're going into a recession. Now, the consumer price index came out at 8:30 this morning, and it is, I think it was like 2.5 higher than it was expected, because the sweet spot for the consumer price index, which is stand for CPI, you heard about it a lot, and I'm gonna share with you. I like sharing my screen. So if you look at my screen, so the consumer price index, or the CPI, and this is their formula, is that the consumer price index in its current period, cost of the market basket, as far as the current period and base period. And usually it's just talking about from, the difference between last year. And that's what they're using. So from year to year, like month to month, over a year. So from July of last year to July of this year. And that's why I'm saying it's at 9.1%. And that's like the most it's been in such a long time, and blah blah. Well, I'm sorry, it's not from July. It's from June to June 2021 to June 2022, and just talking about how us as consumers are actually using the money. So, and just it's right here. So a consumer price index is a price index. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. The price of weighted average market basket of consumer goods and services purchased by households. Changes in the measure CPI track changes in price over time. So that's one of the cool things. And everybody else is talking about, well, everybody's spending less than they used to, and all this stuff we already know, because we are the consumers. So it really doesn't make sense on okay, well, the data is there showing that we don't spend as much as we did before. But as consumers, we are actually putting more on our credit cards. That is one of the reasons why I did last week's episode, focusing on getting back to the basics. We need to start focusing on cleaning up our credit, cleaning up how we spend, cleaning up how we eat, and actually function. Because if we don't do it now, by the time I'll say when the fall comes, we're going to be in a lot of hurt and trouble. So, for all of you who are listening to the show, this isn't nothing new. I think this is something that we all talked about before. multiple times, which is making sure that you focus on yourself, focus on your family, communicate with your family about the things that you have. I believe, Carla, you talked about even before, which was sharing the budget with your family using Google Sheets, I believe, and just kind of saying, like, hey, these are the things that are happening. We need to cut back somewhere, and just keeping everybody notified of what the plan is. Because if you don't have a plan, then where are you going? You're just doing stuff to be doing stuff. But, you got to go back to why you did it in the first place. What was the whole goal of the whole thing? So it goes back to all of this fun stuff. And I love the way that all of you all are learning these new skills and new adventures in your life to kind of help yourself grow. And, some of these computer languages, I love that all of you all are computer folks. I know my mom is like, what are you guys talking about? But it's okay. Mom, you're in good hands. All of us here are, I guess most of us are technical folks. So it all works out. All right. Let's see what else we got. What's happening on your streets? Because I got 10 minutes and I need to finish this whole mason jar of alcohol, which you normally don't do at the club so quickly. Was almost like I want to say it's a full cup. No, a cup and a half a drink. They don't give you this much at the club unless you pay them like $30. That's like 3 drinks. So, all right, I'm just in here, guys. What's on your mind? And I have like 10 minutes to go. Don't pass out. I will not pass out. I'll do my best to keep it going. Too much ice and that's true. They do add a lot of ice inside the club because they be cleaning you out. All right, so they make that $50. This is a $50 drink right here that I made at home by myself. Ooh. All right, so Andrew, you said Certivice. Good question. Out of the things that you mentioned earlier, let's go back. Out of all of these that you mentioned, the underlying cert that will have all of these in one place, including the Spanish, would be your certified ethical hacking. But to start off, you'll need your Sec Plus first. All right, cool, D3, I'm here. All right. I have no desire to buy drinks in the public again. I know, right? The price. Speaking of which, of prices, and Jamal, you were talking about it before, like trying to save some money when it comes to alcoholic beverages. So remember I showed you guys this Pirate Bay, right? This lovely bottle. And it's 42 proof, 750 milliliters. Usually when they do shots, it's only about like 2 ounces for when they added in the thing. Now, one of the cool things, I need to mail this out actually today. So I need to mail this out tomorrow. So because I actually bought Pirate Bay, I actually saw this hanging and I was like, I get $3 back for a $17 drink. And I can actually just got to mail this in. That's it. Just got to mail this bad boy in. And I get my $3 back. And because I'm using it for the business, because obviously all of us are drinking it, you see it, I get this as a write-off already for my business. Plus, I get an additional $3 back. And on top of that, because I went to a convenience store, American Express, love to shop small, I got more money back on that as well. So that is really awesome. All right, let's see. Andrew said I have free access to training. Would you put CISP or CEH first? Let's see. I think everybody, all the technical people here would agree with me, and they'll probably put it in the chat for you, Andrew, is that get your Sec Plus first. The CISP is a beast. I tried it 4 times. But if you had to choose which one first, get the CEH.
Grasshopper, call for.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening, man?
What up, dog?
It was good. It was good.
Nothing much.
Calling in because you only got a little bit of time left.
Oh, yeah. I got 4 minutes, and Jamal trying to tell me to hurry up and drink this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a quick question for you.
Yep.
Since we were talking about the club, can you talk about the financial trappings when it's dealing with a club, whether it's the overpriced drinks or even getting blasted up in the club and over tipping the bathroom attendant to a code attendant and all types of stuff too? Because a lot of people, they say, oh, they got some money they want to spend in the club, and then mess around and they gave up half of their rent money or something, and now they looking crazy in the mouth and beginning of money.
Sure. I definitely like to talk about that. Well, from my experience, I would have to say back in the day when I was clubbing, I mean, what type of club though are we talking about? Because you're talking about tipping people.
No, I'm just talking about like a traditional club that people might go to, and not because you know how they do with people go to strip clubs. That's something totally different. They actually trying to throw racks and impress other people, and then trying to buy drinks too, which is, to me, is pretty stupid. If that's the case, they could just take their money out of the bank and just throw it out the window and just keep driving. But just a regular club, someone says, oh man, I just want to go give me a drink or a sip on something or whatever like that. But there's financial traps inside of just a regular traditional club too.
Right. So I'm going to pull up here the price of a fifth of Henny. Right. And when people look at the price of Hennessy, you're looking at about $33.99 to upwards to $100 for just a fifth of Henny.
Just for one bottle.
One bottle. Right. Now, when you look at the cost of a shot of Henny, that they charge you about anywhere between $10 to, I think, like $15 at the club. Right.
Yeah.
So if you.
And a shot is what? 2 ounces?
Let's see. Let's calculate. I'm looking it up right now. Shot. How this? It's about 1.5 ounces.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a shot at 1.5 ounces, and Hennessy is a fifth, man, that's a lot. All right. See, this is the thing. They don't put milk. Think about it because they're converting it from milliliters to ounces. Let's do this calculation. Milliliters to ounces. Okay, so 1 milliliter is 0.03 ounces. That's funny. So if we're going to do, let's see, 2 ounces. It's 59 milliliters. Huh.
Yeah, this is called ghetto mathematics.
I know, right? Because I'm looking at my bottle here, which is 750 milliliters. We got about...
Yeah. A fifth.
A fifth? Yeah. I'm not even sure how many. How much is in the fifth? Like, that's a whole nother question.
Yep.
Do you have a fifth of Hennessy? Anybody got a fifth of Hennessy sitting around? All right, somebody got it.
Hey,
so Andrew said 22
shots.
Name that
quick. Yeah.
Uh,
22 shots.
so 22 shots I
just
can get out of this per day, right?
Yeah.
Now that's not even a fifth. How many ounces are in a fifth? But either way, okay, so you're looking at 25 ounces, right? Or in a fifth, which is 750 milliliters. Oh, okay. So you're getting 25 shots, right? If you're looking at 25 shots at the cost of $15 each, let's do some quick math here. Right. Clear this out. $15 times 25. You're looking at $375 for a bottle, for a fifth of Hennessy, right?
For a bottle, you could have bought for $30.
Right. So, and this Pirate Bay I got for $17. Plus, I'm getting $3 back already. So it's like I only paid $14, and I can charge for you want some Pirate Bay, $10. Even $8, I'm still making good. At the 2 shots, I didn't pay for itself.
Wow.
So if you want to,
growing up, didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. So when you think about it, you might as well just say, "Hey, it's Club D3 at the house."
Yeah. And that's what we do. I mean, and I think about in my early 20s, when I was in the Air Force and everything like that, we was like, yeah, man, that's when you can only take $300 out of the ATM. So take that $300 and you just go to some old hole in the wall or whatever and just spend it like it was no tomorrow, which in retrospect is supremely stupid because you could have bought whatever you wanted to buy at home and still have money left over. Yeah. You won't end up having too much month at the end of the money.
Too much month at the end of the money. Yeah, but think about it.
And that's just for those particular shots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But every shot is about $8 to $10 on average.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then you think about it, if you go to an upscale club, you paying for valet, you paying for people to check your coat, you paying for everything.
And then imagine when you buy the bottle. When you buy the bottle at the club, they want to charge you $200 for it.
Yeah.
They gave you the discount.
Back to a whole nother mindset because you're trying to floss for people who really ain't paying attention to you anyway. You're just showing off. But then you sipping on that same bottle, you catching flack for that too. So what's the point?
Yeah. And they're not giving you juice, so you can't make your own drink. Taking straight shots.
You know, it was kind of like that in Korea. It was like that in Korea. They had these they call them the juice girls. What they would do is they were actually employees there at that club, and they'll walk over to you and say, "Oh, can you buy me a drink?" And you'd be like, "Yeah," and it's like they charge you $10, right?
Right.
And the $10, all it is just straight fruit juice anyway. But if you go up to the bar and get it yourself, it's like maybe $2.
Right.
But they don't tell you that part. It's a clubs are a scam. You might as well just stay at home.
Yeah, but you don't get to meet random people. And I think that's what it is.
With Corona out there, I don't need no new friends.
Don't need no new friends.
Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah, I don't like attention that much anyway. I'm good.
Right.
Plus, I ain't got to worry about getting a DUI and nothing like that. I'm like,
yeah, because it's too much happening out here nowadays, and it's like, you know, where does it stop? And it just kind of got to stop around, and it goes back to like the environment has a huge play into it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna leave this with as a seed for everybody as we kind of wrap up the show. Is that when Carla's a big planter, and she likes playing in dirt, but she goes to plant since she ain't on the call. It's good. You put the seed inside the dirt in the soil, and then you wonder, start checking. All right, well, why didn't it grow? You don't think that it's the seed itself. You start checking the soil. You start checking to make sure it gets
Yeah.
enough sun. You start checking to make sure it gets enough water. You start checking everything else that's around that seed, but you don't check the seed itself
Mm-hmm.
in order for it to grow.
Yeah.
And so this is something I want to leave with everybody. It's like, you know, you need to, it's not you, you're just buried in an environment that's not conducive for you to grow. So I want you to start
Mhm.
taking a look left and right, up and down, just all around you. Double check your friends. These are folks that you might not need to be around you for the next 30 days. You might just need to be in the bubble at D3's man cave getting drunk.
Yeah. Drinks are cheap over here.
Yeah.
And we'll take your keys so you can't go nowhere. You'll be all right.
And you could be in deep in thought and
Yeah, right.
everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 'Cause I got questions.
Hey, and like Carla said, you know, just go to YouTube. You can join me or join you live, join all of us live on Sundays. We drinking. Wednesdays we drinking. I mean, we just not drinking on
Yeah.
Fridays because you know we got stuff to do.
No. It's 5 p.m. somewhere.
Yep. All right, D3. Thanks a lot for calling in, Sarah. It's a
All
pleasure.
right, man.
All right.
No problem. Thank you for having me on here.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. All right, you have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
You too. What'd you say about Boone's Farm?
All right. So thank you, D3, again for calling in. All right, everybody. I know it's kind of late right now. Hopefully you got y'all shots, y'all got y'all fill for y'all drinks. That was cheaper at home than actually at the bar. And remember to stay safe and make sure you understand your environment so you can grow and so that you have a nice, clean space to think, to grow, to be that all that you want to be and care to be. Because I want to make sure that you're here next week and more weeks to come. And I wish you all many riches in your life. All right, everybody. I'm out. Peace.